The concept of observation has always been given a significant amount of emphasis in numerous religious and philosophical practices, including those that were traditionally carried out by ancient yogis and Buddhist monks. Observing something means giving it our undivided attention, and developing the habit of doing so is one of the best ways to bring about the quantum phenomena we seek in our own lives. In this video, we will discuss how the ability to direct your attention can be the single most effective tool you possess as a co-creator in order to shape the reality you experience. Therefore, let's delve deeper into the profound understanding of how the version of reality that materializes is determined by the focus of our attention. To have a complete understanding of this idea, it is necessary to comprehend how the flow of energy occurs in our lives. It's likely that energy blockages are to blame whenever we feel like we're stuck or whenever we keep running into the same problems. When energy is unable to move freely or becomes stuck in one place, we have a greater propensity to encounter the same challenges on a consistent basis. The focus of our attention is what determines how the energy flows. When we focus on something, energy flows in that direction. What is less well known is the fact that our attention can be broken down into two primary categories: polar attention and non-polar attention. Polar attention has the capacity to both attract and rebuff different realities. It acts much like a magnet, luring in anything that is in line with its purpose while driving away anything that is not. On the other hand, attention that is non-polar is completely impartial and possesses the ability to dissolve realities. Let's investigate the implications of these different types of attention within the framework of the process of bringing quantum events into our lives. Imagine now that there are two types of polar attention: positive attention and negative attention. When we have a positive attitude towards something, the content of that positive attention is the fact that we love or desire that thing. On the other hand, when we have negative attention, the content is typically something that we are afraid of, despise, or want to steer clear of. It is essential to have the understanding that the true nature of our attention is irrelevant to life. What matters is the content of our attention, and life will react to that. To put it another way, if we have a strong passion or desire for something, we are more likely to bring more of that thing into our lives. On the other hand, if we have a negative attitude towards something or fear it, we will inevitably bring more of that thing into our lives. This brings us to an important facet of the human condition, which is the conditioning of always having to live in fear and in the mode of survival. Because we have been conditioned to place the highest priority on preserving our own lives above all other concerns, we are in a heightened state of vigilance. Because of this conditioning, we feel compelled to steer clear of potential dangers, disagreements, and threats, which helps to further embed these patterns. Take, for example, the current state of the media landscape. The news and social media are both frequently dominated by fear. Because this kind of content plays on our natural instincts to survive, it reinforces the vicious cycle of fear and anxiety. Fear, anger, and pride all become states that hold our attention, and as a result, they become the states that keep society trapped. When we are in these states, the predominant focus of our attention is on the things that we fear and want to protect, which results in a cycle in which we continue to attract experiences and situations that are similar to those we have already had. Now, think about the connections between people. Many people find themselves stuck in unhealthy relationship cycles, which are frequently related to traumatic experiences from their past. Their attention is predominantly focused on avoiding the type of relationship they had in the past, which inadvertently leads them to attract the same kind of partner and relationship as they had in the past. Nevertheless, this is where non-polar or neutral attention comes into play in the discussion. It is able to break down these patterns. An attention that is neutral does not add positive or negative energy to a circumstance. Rather, it allows the circumstance to pass without becoming attached to it. There are a lot of people who resist their fears and traumatic experiences from the past by giving them negative attention. However, this resistance inadvertently makes those traumatic experiences from the past continue, which then influences their present experiences. The trick is to accept whatever comes your way and make peace with the fact that the worst-case scenario is always a possibility. The antidote to resistance is acceptance of what is. By accepting it, you are releasing your resistance to the worst-case scenario, which will eventually prevent you from giving it any more of your energy. Resistance is a potent force that, in many cases, makes the very thing we are trying to avoid even stronger. The feeling of being accepted takes away some of the excitement. The next thing you need to do is think about how obstacles or unfavorable occurrences could actually turn out to be blessings in disguise. Keep in mind that every occurrence in your life is, in and of itself, neutral. What makes it positive, negative, or merely neutral is your perspective and the attention you give it. There are times when difficult things happen to us so that we can be protected or so that we can be guided toward a path that is more favorable. Your perspective can be changed from one that is pessimistic to one that is more optimistic if you are able to identify potential blessings that are hidden in plain sight. The final step is to make sure that you continually direct your attention to the thing that you want. When you have achieved a state of neutrality and acceptance, you are able to direct your attention toward choosing what it is that you wish to bring into manifestation. Your attention transforms into the force that drives change, and reality itself begins to reorganize itself in accordance with this shift. You have the ability to bring about significant change in your life and bring about the reality that you desire by persistently applying this 3-step process. It is important to emphasize the fact that the most powerful tool you possess as a co-creator of your reality is your attention. When you become skilled at effectively directing your attention, you unlock the power to create the life you envision for yourself. So, keep in mind that acceptance does not mean giving in to defeat, but rather acknowledging the reality that exists right now. When you come from a place of acceptance, your vision becomes clearer, and it is easier to see the path that leads to the things you want. Because we are also co-creators of our own reality, we have the ability to determine our own courses of action, the kinds of experiences we have, and the outcomes of our lives. The beginning of genuine transformation occurs when we make the decision to focus our attention on the things that are truly important in our lives. You are the one who is in charge of your own future, so forge ahead with self-assurance and a sense of direction.